This anime girl loves to over-explain and secretly loves sappy romance manga. This is Tsuruko Semba from Tribe 9. She's considered a healer character, but she actually has some pretty strong long-ranged attacks. Her basic attack is firing projectiles at the enemies with 3 different stages of animation. The third and final attack is a bit slow, but it does the most damage. Her secondary attack is charging and firing a giant single bullet. This move does a good amount of damage, and it greatly charges her strategy skill that I'll talk about in a second. Now her primary gimmick is her Twilight's Embrace effect. As she deals damage to enemies, her secondary meter will charge, which indicates her amount of Twilight's Embrace. Once this meter fully charges, a big force field will appear that will have various effects for your teammates and the enemies. Enemies that are caught inside this field will gradually take some poison damage. And if you and your teammates are inside this force field and dealing damage to an enemy, everybody in the party will get healed slightly when you deal some damage. You can move the location of this force field by firing the secondary attack at a different enemy. But if the Twilight's Embrace meter completely empties, then the force field will go away. Now Twilight's Embrace does have a secondary effect, where you can use up half of the Twilight's Embrace meter to activate the finishing touch attack. This attack does really good AoE damage, and if you activate it against an enemy who is inside of the Twilight's Embrace force field, the attack will be a lot stronger and a lot larger. It pretty much takes up the entire size of the force field, so it can easily hit multiple enemies at the same time. But activating this does remove half of the Twilight's Embrace charge, so you'll have to really quickly fill it back up by attacking the enemies, or else the force field will go away and you'll have to charge the meter all the way back to the top all over again. Her ultimate skill attacks all enemies in the field and gives all party members the Turning Tides effect, which if your teammate's health is below 50%, it will fill up by 50%. And when playing as her on the overworld, she can initiate battles using a ranged attack as well, which makes it a lot easier to sneak up on enemies. Now as for what compatible monsters to run as her, I've noticed for myself anyways for Tsuruko, since her secondary attack uses a lot of stamina and I use that attack very often, it was really beneficial to upgrade her stamina, because with her base stamina, after firing 2 charge shots, I wouldn't be able to dodge right away, and that would lead to some hits.